Moore says we're muted.
Oh.
Because voice mod is being a little turd. Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's episode of Time and Time Again. I'm one of your GMs, Anita. My pronouns are she, they, and to my left, right?
Right on the overlay.
Left to me on the Zoom.
Neat.
This is my left hand, right? It's the one that makes the L.
Yes.
Then you look at it.
I mean, technically they both make L's, just one's backwards.
That's true. Darby! Take me, please
Hello.
save me.
Hello, hi, my name is Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet, and I am the other game master. I have recently taken to using she, they pronouns, so yeah, there we go. I have been assigned a new gender by Critical Misses. Yet another one to add to the tally.
Please remind me to update the overlay.
I forgot about that.
Thank you.
Maybe. I'm gonna pass it down. I'm just gonna throw it. D, your turn.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. My name is D. I am the collector of genders here on Critical Misses. I will take all of them if you stand too closely to me, and I might bite you in the process. I am playing Donnie Powers, whose pronouns are he, him. My pronouns are whatever you feel appropriately describes the energy you're receiving from me at the time. And I'll pass it over to Nikki.
Hey! Oh, my fan's still on. Hey, I'm Nikki. I use she, her pronouns. And are we talking about who we're playing?
Yeah.
Yes. I am playing Nikki. She is, no, I'm Nikki. I'm playing Gidget. She is the speaker, and she is an office manager for the research department. I'll pass it to May.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is May. My pronouns are she, they, and I will be playing the wonderful warrior, Finley N. Enox, who is chosen? Maybe? Who knows? But I will pass it on over to Chase now.
What is up, everybody? My name is Chase Beck, the token cis of the group, and I'm also playing the token cis of the group, Paxton, the weird explorer who by day is a teacher assistant and by night a nervous wreck, and 24/7 is also a nervous wreck. And yeah, that's me. Pass it back to either of our GMs to lead us into what wacky escapades we're getting into tonight.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's roll our trailer. And we're back. Without further ado, Darby, take it away.
Gotcha. Rushing through the streets, we see our players. We see Gidget, Finley, Donnie, Paxton. Moving through alleyways, ducking, crossing streets, checking behind you as you see familiar faces all around you. Faces of Vo, Professor upstairs, all of these faces, but across multiple people, around corners, peering out of windows, following you as you move. Finley, you were following the strange figure that's not there in space, but is present in space, following it as it directs you down corners, left, then right, then ducking into a little alley over there, then dashing across the street. It leads you on this winding path until you reach an alley with no way out except the way that you came in. On the other end, as you all come to this realization that you are now in this dead end, turning around, you see faces of the people you know, but not on the people you know. Faces a little askew, peering down the alley at you. What would you like to do?
Is there like, if you run to the end, I think Finley would run to the end of the alley and like touch the brick wall. I'm guessing it's brick. For some reason in my mind it's always brick. To see if there's like I don't know, something like a thing to push, like a secret door, or maybe some weird, you know, tiny the distorted mirror thing that she had before. It's just something to like figure something out, because turning around does not seem like the best option.
Anyone else? You can pat around looking for other exits. Is anyone else doing anything at this time?
Donnie. So my distortion skill doesn't say that there's a limit on how many people I use it on, just a cost per activation. So could I use it on all 4 of us for 8 intelligence?
You could.
I don't like how you said that.
You nervous or something?
You hush you.
What's up?
I'll ask the rest of my traveling compatriots and say, do we want to try and hide here until we see an opening? I can make us more harder to detect.
Finley, the sword on your back begins to thrum.
I think she pulls it out at this point and kind of looks at it. Is it like physically?
It's warm to the touch, but not hot. It begins to glow.
Is everyone else saying this? It's a claymore. She has 2 hands on it, but still. Can people see this?
You all see that Finley's sword is glowing.
I mean, you found the magical sword inside the lake, did you not?
I don't know if it's. I mean, it was old and stuck in a rock, so.
Swords
Remember-
don't usually be stuck in rocks. Not sure
Remember
if you
that
know that.
thing? Remember that thing we talked about? Prophecies and all that. I think it might
Oh,
be.
that's right. The voice said it was the
Yeah.
sword of destiny.
It definitely could be that. And personally, I'd rather have a glowing sword on our side than 50 of those same face guys going at us. So maybe use it or something. Just a suggestion. I'm not one for wanton violence, but listen, we're kind of between a rock and a hard place, except the hard place is 50 guys becoming a hard place.
Oh, yes, I get what you mean. Okay.
On either side of-
Metaphorical.
On either side of this alley, you can see that there are fire escapes. And sort of filtering down from them, you see these faceless figures, or these similarly faced figures, faces slightly askew, begin to descend.
I think she's gonna go up to one that isn't Vo and just punch it in the face.
Okay.
Because I think it's the idea of using a sword on a person sounds very awful.
It's
Is it
sort of against what you want to do.
You
Don't make that face, Nikki. You know you love them.
Yes. So I think she would rather just like punch one of them.
Okay, make me a might test.
Might test.
Mhm.
Okay. What is the difficulty?
It is a, let's see, let's have a quick look. The difficulty is, it is a 4, so it'll be a 12 or higher.
Well, I rolled a 14.
Okay, that's perfect. Now I'm gonna need you to, let me just do a quick, roll me a D4, please.
Oh, sorry, let me grab that out of my little pouch. That's a 3.
That's a 3? Okay. This thing, this person sort of grunts and takes the hit, but the face almost clicks and snaps back, looking at you. And the others in the group the others that are descending from them begin to descend on your group. You begin to hear a whisper. The sword, the sword, the sword, the sword.
I think it's sword time.
I think we are at combat. And combat in Cypher System runs a little bit differently. I'm just going to need folks' speed values. If I could get everybody to make me a quick speed test. This is just to sort of determine who goes where in initiative order.
Do we just say it, or is that a roll?
It's a roll. Just let me know
Okay.
what the results are, and I
No
will
problem.
take a mark on who's
What's
going
the
where.
speed, like the speed value for?
So the speed value for is if you want to add any points from your speed pool to ease the difficulty of the roll or to increase your success rate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I rolled a 16.
16, great.
I rolled a 6.
All right.
13.
6, 16, 13.
And how bad would it be if you rolled a 1?
That is an automatic GM intrusion,
Even
Really?
if I add from my speed pool?
even if you add from your speed pool. So what I will say, as a GM intrusion, one of this creature's this person that looked back up at you begins to make a series of pinpoint strikes on your physical person. You feel that some of your joints begin to almost lock up. And nothing happens to you just yet, but something might happen to you in just a little bit. So our initiative is Gidget, then Paxton, then the mob, then Donnie, and last but not least, Finley. So we'll start up with Gidget. What do you want to do?
So I never picked a weapon. And it says that I was supposed to get a weapon.
Yes, so whatever you want, you can let me know what your weapon is.
I'm trying to think of what would be a reasonable weapon for an
Baton, maybe?
office manager. Huh?
A baton? Like, they have, like, collapsible
That's what I was
batons.
thinking, because she would be carrying around her purse. So I was thinking one of those, like, you push a button and they get longer kind of
Yeah.
weapons.
Yeah.
So that.
Okay, so that will deal a d6 of damage, and you can, I can, for something like that, for your weapon, might be a speed test to
Cool.
try and to attack with that.
Okay. What am I trying to roll for?
So this is going to be a difficulty. It's going to be a 12 or higher. Is what you need to hit.
Okay. So I rolled a 10. How many points from my pool can I spend?
So if you have a speed edge, you can spend it to reduce the difficulty, or you can spend points from your pool to reduce the difficulty.
Okay, I'm gonna spend points from my pool.
Okay, so I believe it's 2 points from your pool in order to ease the difficulty.
Okay. Cool. So I'm doing that.
Okay, so so I will get you to roll me a d6.
Okay. Where's my D6? Hey, I rolled a 6.
Okay. All right. So, there are currently 4 of these creatures that are coming to accost your party, and one of them just took. One of them took 6 damage, and the other one it was 3. Okay. Are you attacking the one that Finley hit, or are you attacking a different one?
I would pick a different one.
Okay, sure thing. Okay. Up next, we've got Paxton.
That's me.
What are you doing?
All right. What's the situation? How fast are these guys? Are they? Is it just like are they surrounding us, or is it just like?
They look like they're surrounding you and getting ready to fight.
Oh, fun. All right.
You also saw that one of them just hit Finley with a series of like almost pinpoint type strikes, and you see Finley just sort of take the hit.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, sure. Let's clock. Just gonna roll up the sleeve with my my little nice neat prosthetic arm, and then I'm gonna go in for a punch, just a straight up just sucker punch.
Sounds good. And because it's I would say that because your arm sort of counts as something that's like a little harder and firmer, it would be so it'll be a might test from you to do the punch.
Sure. Absolutely. That is, I believe that's a 9. Okay, that is a 9.
Okay. So its difficulty is a 12. So either you miss or you can spend points or edge from your might pool to ease the difficulty. Also, no, never mind. I'll address that a little bit later.
I'll let it miss this time. You'll
let it miss this time. So the punch sort of goes wide, and this person sort of dodges out of the way. The head sort of tilts at an odd angle as it looks at you. And Gidget, Paxton, and Finley, you all are engaging with these beings. Donnie, you are still sort of hanging back just a little bit, I think. So I'm going to ask anybody that's in direct combat with this, so that'll be Paxton, Finley, and Gidget. I'm going to ask for each of you to make a might test. It is going to be a roll of a 12 or higher, but for Finley, it is going to be a 15 or higher is what you need.
Ooh.
It's almost like those pinpoint strikes are doing something to your physicality.
What did you say it had to be?
10 or higher for us, 15
12 or
or higher for Donnie.
12 or higher.
12 or
I
higher.
rolled a 12.
Whoops.
Okay.
What is that? 15. Okay. Whew.
And Finley,
I rolled go ahead.
I'm just going to look at your character sheet really quick. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you do get something. Let me just grab that I just need to grab that real quick from you.
Who sheet?
it was Finley's character sheet. I'm just gonna grab it, pull it up real quick. I just grabbed it. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'm just looking at your
I know that my punch should have dealt more damage because
You are practiced with all weapons, so you suffered no penalty when using any kind of weapons. You're good there. Your melee attacks inflict. Trained with armor, no need for weapons. When you make an arm attack, it counts as a medium weapon instead of a light weapon, which means if you want to roll me a d6 instead of that d4 for that first hit.
4.
Okay. All right, sounds good. So you did 1 more point of damage. Awesome. What did you roll for your for your bite defense?
I rolled a 7.
A 7? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you feel your body begin to lock up. You are paralyzed from this being.
Can I still speak?
You can still speak, yes. But your muscles, and it'll take you another might test to try and break free from it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And yes, you can. So a paralyzed target can attempt a might-based task each round to regain mobility, but for the next minute, attacks, defenses of movement are hindered. But you can still speak. Also going to just check something else very quickly. Just making sure that's okay. All right, perfect. Next up, Paxton, you rolled a 15.
Yes, I did.
This one person begins to try and make like this sort of grab that's almost like that same sort of series of pinpoint strikes, and this time trying to stop your movement as well. But you sort of like take it, you shrug it off, and does not affect you. Gidget.
Nice. Felt different.
What did you roll?
I got a 12.
Awesome. That was exactly what you needed. The exact same thing. You can sort of try to feel it take hold, but it ceases as well. Up next is Donnie.
So, Donnie is going to sort of like smack his lips in disappointment and be like, I like this suit. This suit is expensive, not just because it looks a lot nice, but because it is loaded with magical fucking accoutrement. So I'm going to cut down the sleeves so that I have access to the components I need, and I'm going to use Onslaught and do one of my magical attacks. I attack a foe using energies that assail either their physical form or their mind. In either case, you must be able to see your target. Let's go with a physical attack because I don't know the mental state of these creatures.
Okay.
So this is an intellect-based attack. And I do have to spend 1 intelligence to activate it.
Sounds good.
What is my difficulty on this?
Difficulty is going to be 12.
Awesome. So that is a 15.
Okay.
So this short beam of yellow light just shoots out of the finger with the ring on it after some dust from the cut open collar is, or rather the forearm section is gathered into the ring. And that is 4 points of damage inflicted.
4 points of damage. Are you attacking one of the other ones, or
the one on Gidget, please?
The one on Gidget. All right, sounds good. Okay. Okay. Next up is Finley. If you like, you can make a might test to try and break through this paralysis.
I would like to do that.
Absolutely. This difficulty is going to be. It is going to be a 12 or higher to try and break.
Okay, well, I am very lucky. I rolled a 15. Yay.
Sorry. Stretch. Hydrate. All right, let's
Oh.
roll. Okay, you rolled a 15. You shake it off, and if you like, you can act.
Oh, yes. I would like to grab my claymore, my beautiful, shining, whispering sword, and swing it.
Okay.
And
Roll
this
for
is
that
a
attack.
heavy weapon. Say that again. What do I need to roll?
It's a 12 or higher
12 or higher.
in might. And if I am reading your character sheet forever, because you are practiced, I believe that reduces it to a 9 or higher.
And I rolled a 9 because I was about to say, how many points can I use in might to bring that down? But if it is 9, then
It is 9,
9.
because that a task is eased because of enabler.
Awesome.
Okay.
Love that.
So-
Going from like paralyzed to just like, you see, I feel like it's very much a Tin Man situation of like oil can and then just grabbing the sword and swinging.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to roll me with a heavy weapon. That's going to be a D8.
And that's a 7.
That's a 7.
Mm-hmm.
You see that you slice it with the sword, and it looks like this being is having a hard time keeping itself corporeal. Like, it almost looks like it's glitching out of... It's getting very close.
Okay.
To...
Weird.
And, also, the same thing, Gidget, the one that is facing you, also looks like it's beginning to almost, like, glitch. Like it can't quite hold the form together. And that leads us to you.
Okay, I'm gonna attack it again.
All right. Roll for your staff.
At 17.
Okay. That is a... If I'm not mistaken, that might actually be a thing. Give me one moment. Where is my... There we go. Sorry. Things keep falling down. A 17, you get to add an additional point of damage.
Cool.
So roll your d6. And then...
I rolled another 6.
Okay.
So that's 7.
You hit this being with the staff, and it almost turns to pixels that dissipate up into the air.
Well, that's uncanny.
You have dispatched one of these.
Hell yeah.
And
Nice.
up next is Paxton.
That's me. Going for another punch with the arm.
All right, go for it. Roll me that might
Worked
test.
well it worked well the first time. Maybe it'll work well the second. 5.
5? Yeah, that's not going to do it. And as your roll was a 12, you try and hit this being is wily, and it just sort of slides out of the way. This thing has the face of it looks like Frog Girl from your class.
Oh,
and is just
yeah,
kind of
okay.
sliding out of the way.
Love it.
She has a name.
She does have a name.
It's
They call me
Stacy.
It is
Stacy.
Stacy.
They call me...
Oh my god, Gretchen,
Call
you
me
can't just
Frog Girl.
Oh my god, Gretchen,
That's
you
not
can't
my
just ask someone why they're a frog.
That's not my name.
All right. So next up, we've got the mob. All right, I'm going to ask. And like, I think seeing that you shrugged off that initial attack, Paxton, the one that's engaged with you, instead of trying to go for that paralyzing touch, is going to attempt instead to attack you. So I'm going to ask you to make me a speed roll to try and dodge out of the way.
I will do that.
This is going to be a difficulty 12 as well.
All right, come on, be good to me. What is?
Is it a 1?
Uno.
Okay. Automatic GM intrusion.
Oh, all
Uh,
right.
And
Give it to me.
Yep. the person that sort of has this sort of off-center face of Stacy hits you, and that same sort of like joint lockup that Finley experienced.
Ow.
It begins to happen. So the next time they try for the paralyzing touch, it will be harder for you to resist it.
Love it.
All right.
Sweet. Awesome.
Gidget, the one that
Thank-
you were engaged with is... Or no, go ahead.
No, I'm just shaming my dice.
Gidget, the one that is engaged with you is gone. But another one begins to sort of make its way towards you and ready for a fight. It is not going to engage you this time, but Finley, the one that you're engaged with, is going to try and attack you, seeing that you shook off the paralyzing touch. Give me a speed test to try and dodge out of the way. I love that I never have to roll anything. I just have to make you roll for everything.
Well, I got a 17. So
Nice. Okay.
yeah.
I will say that as this being like tries to engage with you, you sort of do like almost like out of instinct, like a counter punch, and that counter punch is just enough for it to dissipate into pixels, the same as the one that Gidget had encountered. Donnie.
So, my lovely co-GMs, I have a question. When I made this goofy ass character, I was told that I have 3 ciphers.
Yes.
Do I get to determine what those are as though they are normal items, or are ciphers going to be specific sauce that the GMs come in with?
I think it might be specific sauce that the GMs are going to come in with.
All good. In that case, if it ain't broke, let's not fix it. I'm going to look to everyone else and say, something tells me these things aren't going to quit coming. We should probably head toward the fire escapes. And then I will use onslaughts, and I'll fire another ray to try and pierce the beam, or clear the way, rather.
Okay.
And that's a roll, and it's a 12, yeah?
It is a 12, yes.
Well, that's a natural 20. Yay!
Okay.
Out of my way, fool. No,
So,
even better. Donnie looks over to Gidge and says, watch this, and then I do the thing.
you have a choice.
Mm.
So with a natural 20, you can either do an additional 4 points of damage, or you can ask for a major effect to happen.
I would like the major effect, because I think getting out of here is going to be more effective than trying to, like, take all of these, whatever they are, down.
Okay. So I will say that with that major effect, you're able to, this onslaught almost knocks down a few of them. And you bowl over several of them, and you see that there's more that are starting to filter in through the entrance to the alleyway as well, as the ones that were coming down from the fire escapes. All right. And you do knock down the other 2 that were currently engaged, and that leads us to Finley.
You said there are some more on the fire escapes.
There were the 4 that came down from the fire escapes, and there are more that are filtering in through the entrance to the alley.
Okay, I think I'm gonna look to Donnie and be like, let's everyone get behind me, and let's try and fight our way up the fire escapes. Because
It's like a wonderful idea.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there are those tall ones that almost there's a ladder that sort of comes down when people descend down them. How are you going to grab it? Are you going to try and jump and grab it to pull it down?
Yeah. She is incredibly tall, so I think she should
Absolutely.
be good
You
at
are.
this.
In fact, you know what? I'm going to say that does ease, because you did establish that your character is tall. I would say that does ease the difficulty of this. So this would have been difficulty 12. This does ease it to a 9.
And which pool is this coming from?
This is going to be speed because you're trying to jump and grab.
Okay, I rolled a 7, so I'm going to use one from my pool to lower it, and then
Okay.
I would pass.
So it was a difficulty 9. You would need a 6 or higher to 6 or lower to get it, or 6 or higher to get it.
Okay, my roll was a 7.
Your
so
roll was a 7. So yeah, if you ease it by 1 with your speed pool, then it'll be 2 points of speed, and you can definitely do it.
Okay, yeah, you said 2 points of speed?
2 points of speed, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
So-
I think this is important. We want to get out of here.
You see, Finley, describe how you run and you jump and grab this.
I think it's like, she acknowledges Donnie's idea, and then kind of just runs over and does she has the claymore in one hand and then jumps up slam dunk style to grab it and pull it down. And then I like to think she says something heroic, but instead she's like, okay, come with me, and starts climbing up.
So you pull it down and you begin to ascend this staircase.
Mhm.
All right. Y'all are running. Let's see. That leads us to Gidget in the initiative order.
I'm running,
Okay.
right? That's
Yep.
what we're doing?
Let's say make me a speed test, Gidget. This is
Oops.
gonna be a 12 or higher to try and do the escape.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, you rolled a 7. You begin to sort of try and make your way up these stairs, but as you begin to run, one of these things grabs your leg. Okay.
Cool.
Can't quite get to it. And let's see. Paxton, what are you doing?
What do I do? Well, I'm following suit with everyone if we're getting the heck out of Dodge. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. But my leg's pretty jacked up, right? Or at least just
You feel like your muscles are moving a little bit slower than they should be. Your speed test instead of a 12 is going to be a 15.
Okay. All right. All right, let's do that. 16. Whew. All right.
All right, with the 16, you begin to ascend these stairs just behind Finley, who's making their way up. Gidget, this one that has grabbed your leg, I'm going to ask you to make me a might test. To try and knock it off.
Am I allowed to help? If I
rolled a
see
16.
her? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. You sort of kick this things off of your leg. Give me a D4.
Oh no. One of these a D4. That's a D8. Sorry, I haven't used these dice, and I was told I only needed it. Oh, that's fun. It's one of the gem style. That's a 3.
3? Alright, sounds good. Occasionally you'll need a D4, a D6, or a D8 for fights like this, but
Perfect.
not
Got
very
it.
often.
They're all out now.
Sounds good. Alright, so this person knocks, the head sort of goes back a little too far, and then snaps forward again. But you're able to get them to let go, and you make your way up the fire escape. Paxton is ahead of you, and Finley is ahead of you. Donnie.
Since Gidget has gotten loose, that's all I was really worried about. I'm going to just head toward the ladder.
Okay.
I believe I'm last in line, yeah?
Yeah, speed test.
Fun. This is gonna go well. That is a 13, so I
That's
gotta
what
bump
you
it up a
needed.
little, right?
No, 13 is what you needed. It was 12 or higher.
Ah, okay. Well, cool. I'll just like very lively grab the ladder. Donnie's getting a little tired, so there's not as much like posturing in between his things. He just kind of grabs and is rung over rung, hand over hand, trying to get out of here.
All right. You make your way. All four of you begin to make your way up your ladder as these beings begin to ascend, crawling almost up the walls, spider-like, towards you. As you begin to run, what do you all do? What are you doing? You're up on. You make it up to the roof at this point. I guess we can make this a chase sequence now.
Do I have any directions? Like, am I getting pointed in any way?
The sword is still glowing in your hands, and you can feel a thrum in the direction that you're going.
Okay. I'm going to try and communicate that and be like, the sword vibrates that way?
It almost feels like a dowsing rod, like it's pulling you in a direction.
Oh.
I think we should follow it then.
Yeah. I also don't have any other ideas, so thank God the sword does. But this is a democracy, so.
Oh,
Any
no,
other
yes,
ideas?
absolutely. I have
Okay.
absolutely no clue where to go. Please,
Cool.
thank you.
Then let's go. Follow the sword.
All right, follow the sword. And you all begin to run, fleeing these groups. Occasionally, some will jump at you, and you begin to fend them off, running again through these streets. You are on rooftops now. Where do you go from here? There are doors that lead into buildings, but there's also jumps that you're going to have to make to get across to other rooftops. Those will be speed tests.
Well, it's a bad time to realize I never paid attention to the flight spell.
How physically fit does everyone look? Like from a...
Gidget looks like she can run.
Okay.
Paxton's doing what he can. He's hanging in.
Okay.
Donnie looks like he disagrees with the concept of sweating.
Mm-hmm. Like this is Italian.
Yeah. I might actually ruin spell components if I run in this suit, so I cannot. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is the sword pointing or...
The sword is giving you just a general direction. It's not actually giving you a specific direction.
Okay, then I vote we stay on rooftops. I think going into a building might be dangerous. So I think Finley... Ooh, go ahead.
No, all you.
Oh, yeah, I think she would just be like, all right, so, okay, we're going to have to jump across some stuff, and it may be a little risky, but I believe in us. So let's do this. And then, like, runs off again.
Okay, everybody. So I'm going to ask for a speed test to jump across these rooftops.
Parkour.
To do a little parkour. This is going to be, I'm going to say a 9 or higher.
Does this count in Oh, I'm trained in escaping.
Yes, you are. This counts. That eases it by 1 step, so you'll need a 6 or higher.
I'm trained in running.
That counts.
Okay.
What do I?
I'm trained in pleasant social interactions. That's not going to help me here.
I mean, we could just chat while we're jumping.
I
how
rolled
are
a
you?
4.
Chilling.
I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4? Okay.
So is that a 9 for everyone? That's the...
It is a 9 for everybody, yes, unless you
Okay,
have something
cool.
that eases physical, like running or jumping or that sort of thing.
Okay, gotcha. Just curious. And let's roll that.
I got a 15.
11.
11, 15. Donnie, what did you roll?
18. Sorry,
18?
never said
Okay.
that. Yeah.
18.
Am I allowed to like help in some way, or
Yeah,
like
if you like,
I
you
see the
can-
Gidget's about to
You can
like
see Gidget
you know
is having some problems keeping up with y'all. Sort of gets as you all sort of cross over onto one roof. Gidget's just sort of stopped at like maybe that like little bit of fear. Oh, there goes fireworks literally right outside my window. Awesome.
Oh yeah, mine too. Mine too.
Oh gosh,
Let me
dang
just-
people! Come on.
So
Not
can
even a
we
4.
spend points from our pool? Like, can I
Mhm.
spend might points if I like catch and try and grab and pull her up?
right, same.
Question mark, exclamation point.
Or like inspire somehow with like intellect points. As silly as that sounds, it's kind of like because I have, well, I guess it doesn't matter if I'm just going to use points, but I have like persuade and public speaking skills.
Yeah,
To just
shout
kind
over
of
to
be
your
like,
encouragement.
like encourage, like she gets into like weird teammate mode. Like, all right, we can do this. I've seen you bubble. Like, you are like, not only can you command a room, you can command a situation you're in. So mind over matter. You can do anything. Probably. And I believe, and all you have to do is try your absolute hardest. You got this.
All right. Gidget, I'm going to ask for another speed test, but this one is eased, so you'll need a 6 or higher.
No! I
What
rolled
is-
a natural 1.
Okay, GM intrusion time. You
No.
all look behind
Oh,
you,
no.
and you see Gidget stop in fear as a pair of hands reach around, and Gidget is pulled from existence, just like the professor.
But I need that for stuff.
Can I jump back across and like try and?
Are you going to try and jump through?
Yeah, I think she's gonna go after Gidget. That's messed
Oh,
up.
there's still
She's
like
gonna
there's
go
still
save
like
her
a
friend.
tear
There is like a tear in the fabric, and I will say that with an appropriate speed test, you can jump through it as well.
Mhm.
Oh, immediately.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay, make
Come on,
this a speed
Paxton.
test.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be a
2.
let's say
Hey, I like that.
let's say a 9 or higher.
Okay.
We'll take a look. You got a 50-50 chance.
Okay. Do I get it lowered because I'm good at running?
Yes.
Cool. So 6 or higher.
Joy. I rolled a 2, so
Oh,
I'm
okay,
gonna
another
spend
one.
4 points from my speed pool to bump it down twice.
Okay. Paxton, what'd you get?
That won't
Oh,
have
wait.
any negative consequences.
Is this the same roll that we did earlier, or is this another jump that we're
This
doing?
is another jump. You're jumping back because you just watched Gidget get pulled backwards into a rift in space.
Oh, okay.
Super
Sure.
cool, super cash.
Sweet, cool, thanks. All right, let's roll that. That it. Not a 1, but a 2. Oy vey.
It's fine. I got a hot 3. So,
Okay.
Yep.
but I could use how many points? 2 speed points?
It's 2 per difficulty you want to lower it. So since I was off by 2, I had to spend 4 points to bring it down twice.
But your difficulty was initially a 6 because you're running and that's eased. So it would be just 2 points for you to reduce it as well.
Okay, then I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I got to save my friend because she also knew that this sword was magical somehow before. How would she know such a thing?
You see Donnie just run and jump through this portal. Finley, you follow as well. And Paxton,
Yep.
you see all of your friends through a portal. You feel a hand on your shoulder. And I'll do a GM intrusion because we don't want to split the party this early.
No.
There's a hand on your shoulder.
The universe slighting me
pulling you
again.
backwards as well. So you get an experience point, and you get to pass an experience point to someone else.
Oh, me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You're the one with the destined sword. I'm gonna give it to Finley.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. I appreciate that.
Sounds good. So, you get
Another
pulled
XP.
backwards, and
Wait, that's 2 XP.
You all are sitting in this exquisite office. It's surrounded in like baubles and knickknacks, things that some of which you've seen before, some of which you've never seen before. This is a crow's nest, a magpie's gain of items and things. And in front of you, behind a desk, sit 2 figures, masked, with expressionless faces, hands. One has their hands perched like this, the other has their hands flat on the desk. And one of them says, "It's about time we have a conversation, since you're the ones who broke and saw through time."
Okay, now that was an accident.
you all sort of see out this window behind them that opens to what almost looks like an MC Escher style, crossed with almost like that biblically accurate angel. There are wheels within wheels of ticking and turning pieces, but just off in the distance, you see the ruined remains of a tower.
Oh.
Is the tower familiar at all?
It is very familiar to all of you.
Is that the one from the vision that I had when I was okay?
You've seen it from a different angle, but it is the same tower, the same ruins, and all of you recognize it as the one that collapsed on top of you.
We only allegedly broke that.
Yeah, allegedly. Mm-hmm.
Big quotation marks there.
As we
I
mentioned
can't
before,
be held responsible for things that I don't understand. So,
ignorance of the law is not a defense. And you broke cardinal rule of the laws of space and time.
Oh, no.
so sue me then.
I want a lawyer. Can I get a time lawyer? A time and
Yes.
space lawyer?
Good ask, Finley. Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
There'd be no punishment for you all, really. You have 2 options, though. Join the fold of the Wandering Eye, or wander the halls until you change your mind.
And
Sounds like a bit of a non-choice, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they said.
What's my sword doing right now?
your sword is bright and luminous.
Are they reacting to it at all? Because she still has it out, like it is in both hands.
They don't seem to react to it much. Either they don't notice it, or they don't care. Well,
So, what exactly is this secret society we're supposed to be joining?
well, seeing as you broke the one thing that we were charged with protecting, you need to repair the damage that you caused.
You should hire better security. We got in like real easy. On
What you
accident.
did.
Allegedly.
Good
What
save.
you did defies logic and law. What you did was not easy in the slightest. We are the bastion that holds back the apocalypse. That is our work. That is our charge. Bad things happen when people meddle with time, and worse things happen to those who hold the line against them.
We were charged with holding the line, making sure that any that got close joined our ranks, but none had ever seen the tower. None have ever walked the steps to the top, toyed with its faces. Most know better.
You said there were trinkets in this room and that some look familiar. What would look familiar?
Things like from your world, like you see like an astrolabe, you see like tools and things that are familiar, beakers here, like jewelry, baubles in styles that you're familiar with. But amongst those items that you see, there are things that are wholly unfamiliar to you. You see like metallic, like shiny metallic boxes that are completely, there doesn't seem to be any room for like, tubes for arcane power to flow through it, just shiny, chrome, and small. You see like staffs that are wound around gems that sparkle, but not in colors that gems normally should be, and have like a shine to them that you've never seen before. Almost shifting like a color that you can almost see, but it's almost something you've never seen, kind of wavering there. Just amongst the familiar are an overwhelming wave of unfamiliar and strange things that don't make sense, or things that are only what people have imagined ever.
Okay, but nothing that looks like Finley's personal item.
No, not like
Okay.
not like your stuff in particular.
Yeah, that's kind of also what I wanted to clarify, that okay, so it's a mixture of the impossible and everyday things we would have seen in the real world.
Make me an intellect test.
Okay.
I'll leave the difficulty to myself for now. Just let me know.
Just as a little bit of a tag in on that, I was going to ask what I recognize with my magical training skill.
Absolutely.
If there's anything.
But Finley, let me know what you rolled.
That would be a natural 20.
Oh,
So see.
Hot dog.
Allegedly. But it's not, it's real.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
The word of the day. Allegedly.
Finley, you remember when you were a child? Tell me about a childhood friend that you had.
Childhood friend that I had. I think just so Finley was an orphan, so she grew up with other orphans, and so I think she would have made like a little friend roughly her age, named Colette, and they kind of grew up together, and like you played hopscotch and had dreams that your parents were actually princes and princesses, things like that.
It's driving me nuts right now. So you remember Colette, and there was like that almost like half remembered state of childhood that almost and you hadn't thought about Colette in years. Somewhere on one of these shelves, you recognize a small trinket. And Colette would always tell you that it was one of the only things that she had left of her parents. It's a locket. Engraved with a C.
Engraved with a what?
With a C for Colette.
With a C. Oh, okay.
With something that her mother gave her. Inside,
Oh.
there's a portrait of a family.
I'm gonna grab the locket off the shelf. I'm just gonna take it. And kind of like demand where they got it.
You don't really remember what happened to Colette after you were separated. And honestly, at certain points, you don't quite remember if you even really knew Colette. No, you lost touch. It's kind of like one of those things, like when you're friends with someone for the summer and you never see them again afterwards. Did you ever really know that person?
Yeah. Right?
There's the softer of the two behind the desk. It's yours if you want it.
I do. It's important. It's important. I'm pretty sure.
Important to you?
Yes. Probably.
If it is, then it's yours. It was always meant to be yours.
Thank you. I think she would stick it in her pocket.
Donnie, you wanted to do a quick look with your magical training?
Yeah.
All right. Make me
Is this
a roll.
also a secret DC?
Secret DC.
Secret
yeah.
DC. Secret DC.
That's what I thought of
Okay.
too, Darby.
I am just
Um,
69 sounds in a trench coat.
That is an 11.
An 11. A few of these items sparkle as minorly magical. Some of them are reagents and spell components that you've only read about, and you're pretty sure don't exist anymore.
So, second question of what I'm sure will be many. Who are you two?
We are Iris
And
and
Lens.
Lens.
Right. And I'm going to assume you don't go to the school we go to?
We are teachers in a sense. We have many pupils.
Clever. All right. All right. Question 3 then, since we're playing a game.
You can answer any you want.
How does any of this exist if chronergy isn't possible?
We exist in the time between time and the space between spaces.
Right. But that shouldn't be possible. Is more my. So how are you doing that if you can't manipulate time magic?
We are the reason chronergy doesn't work in your realm. We stop
Really?
it from working.
Your professor said it himself. It's not that chronergy shouldn't work. It's that it should, and it doesn't.
Huh.
Paxton slowly raises his hand.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. Sorry. I've sort of been with this. You said chronology in this world. there are others.
We are in
Outside
the
of-
space between spaces, the time between times. There are different facets to your reality, much like a diamond.
Different sides of the same coin, so to say.
In a sense, I suppose.
All right, and just sort of mutters to himself. All right, multiverse theory, that's a thing.
I suppose it's not really theory with that confirmation now, is it?
All right, multiverse exists. Fun.
Can
Well,
I-
I'm understanding. We have two options here. We can say yes and be part of your company, or we can say no, and you put us in some sort of prison-like atmosphere.
Nothing
There's
so
no prison.
nothing so harsh. You're simply our guests here until we find a way to fix
So-
the damage that you've caused.
If we're guests, we could leave. If we can't leave, we're prisoners.
You're free to wander the halls.
But
No one will harass you.
I want to go home.
I
Well,
quite like my own bed, actually.
We repair the
I s-
damage that was caused with returning to your own space and time.
I suppose to play a bit of devil's advocate, I'm not exactly keen on going back to our world the way things are currently. I much like my own bed as well, but I'd rather not be swarmed by mobs of people with stolen faces.
Ah,
Not stolen, only borrowed.
And also two not even counter arguments, two just sort of very drastic things to this whole fixing thing. One, isn't there someone else far more, I guess, I wouldn't say capable than us to sort of fix the damages? I mean, you clearly are the owners slash just sort of residents of this place, and you clearly have more power than us. And also, two, we discovered that by complete accident. How are the four of us going to fix time, especially if we did it by sheer happenstance?
With time and practice.
And frogs?
frogs.
Wait, are the frogs actually a part of it?
Frogs?
Yeah.
They sort of look at each other.
Just cock their heads a little bit.
The mask shows no expression, but you can see the head tilt.
Okay. Were you the ones that trapped that being in the space between spaces?
They look at each other. There are things that we hold back.
Are there tools you could provide us with if we decided to help correct the problem?
Most certainly.
You have access to everything that we have ever researched, squirreled away.
I'm not much for reading.
No, I don't suppose you are.
I could help you study if you're looking to improve with that.
I was hoping to find more like weapons and other gadgets that might help us.
There are many things here. You're welcome to any and all of them.
Could we have a huddle, the rest of us?
If you like,
Good
you may
call.
leave to wander the halls.
I'm not sure I want to wander, but I would like to talk to my friends without your presence.
One gestures at the door behind you.
Gidget's going to tentatively take the handle of the door and look at her friends.
As you turn the handle, I'm kidding.
Fuck you.
GM intrusion!
Damn it, you did! Make me a DC 20 check right now. I'm kidding.
She's gonna, once she gets a nod from Finley, she opens it and steps out into the hall and waits for her friends.
Yeah, I think Finley would follow fairly close behind in case there's something that tries to eat us or something.
It looks like a very nondescript hall. It's very long.
Very tall.
Pillars on either side.
Before I step out, I'll just sort of twist the ring on my finger a couple of times and say, anytime you want to chime in, feel free.
You feel a sense of anxiety and apprehension. And a sense
You on
of
that front?
mistrust, but trust at the same time. It's a strange duality.
I'll just go outside. I'm not gonna try and discern too much from that.
As you talk to the ring, one behind the desk, one of them behind the desk, good to see you again. Before you walk out.
I will close the door behind me as I am the last one out. So don't trust those two at all, right?
Absolutely not, but I
Yeah,
also
some
don't
nurses-
want to stay
nurses.
here.
That was Ooh.
Gidget's going to gather everyone close together.
Mm-hmm.
Right then.
Mhm.
So, what I'm thinking is we might want to say yes to their offer to fix things. I mean, I'm not opposed to fixing things. I am opposed to selling my soul to some big company like this one. But I don't want to stay here. And if they're going to provide us with the tools that we need to be successful, then may as well go that route until we find a better solution.
I mean, the tower was huge. If they want us to fix that, we'll be here for ever.
Right.
I think they mean like a more magical type of fix.
Oh.
I don't think we'd be
They
brick
want
by
us
brick.
to find a solution to fix the problem permanently. But if we are counting on people who are supposed to be holding the line to fix the problem themselves, and then we can be released, we'd still be here forever. So we may as well try to fix it.
What if I stabbed him?
Okay, let's.
That's
Hold
an
off on
idea.
that.
Okay.
It's an idea, but I don't know. Just like if
The
they
sword is
could make-
glowing.
if true, and that is one of those prophecy things, but I don't know, just something about just like a guy that can just make a portal and just all us in, kind of just, I think he has the higher, I think they have the sort of high ground over us in terms of power and whatnot. If they're the ones keeping everything apart, who's to say what they could do to us?
Right. And that stabbing them thing could be a plan C.
Okay. I just thought I'd
Backup
throw it out there.
Yeah,
I'm good at
no,
a handful
that's-
of things. That's one of them.
If push comes to shove, we'll absolutely have that be our last effort.
Okay. They also had my
Yes.
friend's necklace, which is so weird. I mean, we were sort of friends. I knew this person.
As you stand gathered in this hallway, talking about what's happened, debating what to do next, we'll be right back after this break.
Ooh.
All right, everybody, grab some beverages, grab a snack, and we will see you back in about 10 minutes.
Some bevies, absolutely.
See you soon. we're back.
Woo!
Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to Time and Time Again. All right, so you all are in this hallway trying to figure out what to do next. Discussions of stabbing people. That was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
we're
was-
discussing that as
that-
Plan C.
That was definitely Plan C. Yep.
It's on the table, but not like,
It's
a
less
priority.
it's less of a plan and more of a suggestion.
I mean, I'm thinking we go with what Gidget was saying. I mean, it's sort of I feel like we need to at least comply for the short term because it doesn't seem like we really have a choice, unfortunately. And we can go back to what is it? Nightmare halls with the zillion faces of our friends or just say yes.
I think we say yes.
Makes the most sense.
Yep.
All right.
And then we can think on it from there.
So we had 2 +1 weapons redeemed in chat, one for Paxton and one for Finley. So that is going to reduce the difficulty of your next roll by 1 step.
Ooh.
Oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So Gidget's going to open the door and go back into the office.
Have you made your decisions?
Right then, so we're going to go ahead and join your team, so to speak. We'd like to help solve the problem so that we don't have to be here forever. If that works for you.
All right. That is amenable.
I do have another question.
By all means.
A friend of mine is quite nervous around the pair of you, and at least one of you seems to recognize them. Elaboration, please.
The fragment in your ring, correct?
Yes, but let's use a different weapon fragment.
What happened to Amelie was unfortunate. We honestly didn't know that any part of her survived. Honestly, I'm heartened to know that there are pieces of her that remain. Make me an intellect.
I do like.
Do you want to?
I was. Thank you so
you
much.
want to do an
I
intellect
appreciate
test to try and insight check that?
Uh-huh.
Pulling the Darby fastball special of insight check.
I sure do. I'm gonna. What's my difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be hard to read behind the mask. The voice is giving away something, but I'm gonna say it's difficulty. You're gonna need 12 at least.
Okay, then I will spend 2 more intellect points.
Bump it
Don't
down
worry,
to
everyone.
9.
I have so many left. Yeah, I rolled an 11, so I'll bump it down.
Okay. There's a feeling of genuine regret and actually a little bit of like hope in the voice. The other one behind the desk is standing like a little bit more firm and still. You can also tell that the one that you're speaking with, more masculine presenting, is a little bit of a softer, gentler of the two. The femme is a little bit more of a hard ass. heartening to know she, part of her at least, made it. What happened was terrible,
Your fault.
partially.
All right. Well, that's all I had to ask.
Any other questions?
Where could I find items that would help us that we can borrow? Weapons, things of that nature?
If you keep what you are looking for in mind, the halls will kind of guide you there. As long as you have a firm idea. Otherwise, the halls will guide you wherever they want to guide you.
Right.
Often,
It just says irritated because that's not very clear.
oftentimes, if you find yourself distracted, the halls won't guide you where you want to be, but rather where you need to be.
And if
Helpful.
the idea isn't clear, it will guide you where it thinks you should go. For example, if you were looking for a window, it might guide you to the window it thinks that you want or need the most. For example.
All right. Grand. And she'll leave.
Just
Stand up.
walk out the door.
Stand out of the hallway waiting for her friends to be done with their questions.
Okay, bye.
All right, Finley, Paxton, do you have any questions for the leaders of Wandering Eye?
Why did you have my friend's necklace? Her name is
Colette.
yeah.
Colette became a pupil of ours. For a time.
Is she still here?
You might find her wandering the halls.
Why am I having trouble remembering her?
It is the nature of what we do, unfortunately. To bolster our numbers occasionally, we recruit those with potential, pulling them from their eventualities. The fact that you remember her is a miracle.
Most do not recall those who have joined our ranks. They are, if not forgotten completely, relegated to an offhand thought of unimportance, of ambiguity, of just time passing.
Whatever happened to... whatever became of... I wonder how they're doing. Those thoughts. With no follow-through.
Oh. I don't care for that.
It's unfortunate, but Colette was and is one of our best. In fact, I think you saw her in the streets.
Did I? Was she one of the many faces?
I think Iris will tap the mask, and it flicks between a couple faces. Bo, Yelena, Stacy, then back to the blank face.
You remember one of the faces that you saw through there? Older. But for a brief second.
This is freaky stuff.
I would say we're sorry, but the things that we do are necessary.
Yeah. You shouldn't apologize for things you actually aren't sorry for. It's meaningless. I think she puts the necklace on and then like just walks out of the room thinking about like everything that was just told to her, and kind of her brow is furrowed. She's kind of just not unsure of everything now.
Paxton, Donnie.
Paxton's still just like very much taken aback by just sort of like, not really taken aback, but just sort of like still adjusting to this new norm that is having to fix the space-time continuum with 3 other people. So he's just sort of like semi-spaced out, but also just sort of like unsure what to do. So he's just sort of like fidgeting to himself, just like, and also just like unsure of what to ask, really.
You have many thoughts on your mind. You're not quite sure which one to construct. That's okay. Take the time you need. We'll have answers when you're ready.
Thanks.
Paxton.
Sort of looks over at Donnie, just overlooks at Donnie, just like, all right, you're next. I just, I heard you say something. No, I'm sorry. What was it?
Nope, I was just saying, do you leave the room?
Yeah, I leave the room. Just sort of like look over at Donnie, just sort of like, you're next.
Donnie will just sort of pat the ring and just stare at the two of them for about 35 seconds. Well, I suppose I have a lunch date. And then I'll turn, and before I close the door, I will say, was she one of your pupils?
No.
Good. You don't strike me as very good teachers. And I'll leave.
Gidget. You stand out in the hallway, waiting for your friends to come out of the door. They don't show up.
Oh no. Remembering what they said about if I'm looking for something in specific that I will find it, I think really hard about where Donnie must be.
Make me an intellect test.
Okay.
It's going to be a 15.
I rolled a 15.
All right. That's exactly what you needed. You eventually, after wandering the halls for a moment, find Donnie. Donnie, you leave after you left the room. There was no one in the hallway.
Have they scampered off without us?
They'll make their way back to you.
Interesting. And is this like right before Gidget shows up?
It'll take a little bit.
I'll look down to the ring and I will say, I don't know how much it means from someone who wasn't there. But just in case you haven't heard it, I'm sorry for what happened to you. Whatever it was.
Do you want to see?
If you're ready to show me.
Follow me?
I will. Are they out of the ring?
There is a small fluttering of paper down one of the hallways.
I sort of look back to the door, and since I don't see any of my compatriots, I will follow the paper. We are going to have to make this quick, though. I've been talking a lot about this lunch. I think I may be
It's important to you.
disappointing. Yeah.
It's all right. Gidget's looking for you. You'll find her. Gidget, on your way to find Donnie. You stumble across a room with 3 orbs. Looking at them a little closer, you realize that they're globes. Just 1 second. One of them is the world you recognize, the map of Vertex. One is a slightly different configuration, continents in different places. The other is another slightly different configuration, continents and places. You begin to sort of look around them, and you line yourself up at a different angle, looking at all 3, and you can see that they all make the same shape. Certain continents merge together in certain ways, like patchwork. They're almost translucent as you look through them in that one direction. You can see them all make that same map. A world is one, made from 2. And as you reach out, you find yourself standing on an empty field, looking out over an ocean, and you see the lights of an army collected at the shore. People with torches, pacing back and forth. Out looking over the ocean, you see that there is a soldier standing, currently doffing his armor, talking to a commanding officer. Are you sure this was what needs to be done? Yes. You need to tell us what's on the other side. We know that none have come back yet, but we have hope in you. Safe journey. The soldier that you recognize as a man that washed ashore in your other vision wades into the water and disappears. The only thing left is the crashing of waves as the commanding officer looks on.
As you come out of your memory of this vision, you're looking at these globes. In the corner, you see, peering behind a pillar, it's that same face that you just saw wade out into the water.
Not tilted and skewed, not a mimicry, the real face. He turns a corner and disappears. You think, probably time to get to Donnie. Paxton.
Me.
Your mind is filled with all these questions that could be half thoughts, half a question that then trails into a, I don't know. You're walking and you walk out. Your friends aren't there.
Fun. Love that. I just sort of look around, just sort of like going, just, hello? Guys? Donnie? Anyone else? Other two whose names I kind of forgot?
You hear your voice sort of echo down these halls a little bit.
Oh, gods. All right. What's in front of me?
Hallway. Stretching on and on and on as far as you can see. Pillars on either side that could lead to somewhere else, could continue forward. There are many paths for you to take.
A number of them, or just like infinitely branching ones? Like,
Infinitely branching, almost like.
oh, love that.
But not in a way that you can see, but like implied through what you can see. Like in the space that you are, you can see that the hall goes, and it goes the same for the next, in between the spaces between the next
And
few pillars, and
so on and so forth.
you can make an educated guess.
Yeah. All right. Paxton moves forward. Still racking his mind on just sort of like what to do with how is someone like him going to just like him and just three other people, how are they going to just fix the space-time continuum? Just like how are they going to just like fix a patch in time? It's improbable, but is it impossible? Just like it's a lot of pressure on him, a lot of pressure. So he's just sort of like his body's on autopilot while his mind is just doing the manual thinking.
As you walk forward, your feet walk you down the halls. Your body turns unconsciously one way, the other way. You keep walking until you are standing in front of not the same hallways that you've seen before of stretching shapes and pillars and vaulted ceilings. You stand instead in a hall of mirrors.
Oh, not this crap again.
This time with a straight path forward.
As I begin to walk forward, I look towards the mirrors. Is it the same vibe as it when it happened when I met that hunter, of just like different variations of Paxton? Paxton just sort of shakes that off and just keeps on moving forward, just totally not weirded out, but yet extremely weirded out by that.
You walk forward, and after turning just a corner, you find yourself in an open space, rounded, almost surrounded by mirrors, a statue. The man that you met.
Oh.
The reflections, each showing a different version of this statue. Just as it shows a different version of you standing there. Standing a little taller than life. The plinth of the statue almost about to where your torso is, and then stretching up, larger than life. A plaque at the bottom.
What does it say? Paxton sort of leans towards it and just reads it.
The plaque reads, Isaac, not a second to spare.
Do I know that name?
You do not.
Ooh. Does the stature of I know it's you said the pelts that he had on was unfamiliar to mine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's still just like unfamiliar territory? I just dead ass don't know this guy.
No?
Cool. Fun. All right. I got a name at least.
You see something move in one of the reflections.
I glance. I look over it. I look over at it.
You see just in one of the mirrors, Isaac walk by. Like he's heading somewhere. Like walking with a purpose, doesn't seem to notice you, but just walks from the frame of where one mirror starts to where the mirror ends. Passes.
Paxton calls out to him, just like, "Hey, you! You're that dude who pushed me from. Just stop 1 second. I got." Just like trying to catch up with him, just like.
He doesn't stop.
All right, look, I don't. Yeah, I still try to catch up towards him, just sort of like, look, I don't know who you are, but you got something to do with all of this, and I need answers now because I have to fix. I have to patch up a time-space continuum, and I can't do that. And who are you? What is going on?
When you say walk up, he is a reflection in the mirror. Do you walk up to the mirror?
The mirror, yes. Anywhere that's just I'm trying to get towards him physically, or at least just even if I can't interact with him, I want to at least try to get his attention.
You walk up to the mirror. It's like he can't see you. The mirror almost ripples as you come by.
Ripples, you say? Paxton touches it. Does
Your hand goes through.
I'm going in.
You step through, and it's like, you know, when you go into a pool of water, and it's like you push your face under. It's almost like that feeling, like you're passing through water, but you're not wet. It's just sort of this enveloping feeling. And you see, walking ahead of you, the figure that you saw before, the man captured by the statue. You see his back quickly retreating from you.
Isaac, right?
The figure stops and then turns and faces you. I thought I told you not to come here.
Well, trust me, pal. I don't want to be here either, but I am here. And right now, I've got so much that right now, I've got to fix I've got to fix a hole in the space-time continuum, apparently, and I don't know even the first step of how to do that. And this hallway is just leading me towards that. So trust me, if you have a solution that could help me fix this without having to rack my brain about ideas upon ideas, I would love that. Because right now, I'm just making it up as I go along. Who are you anyway? What do you mean I don't belong here?
He pauses. You are not fixing holes in time. You're fixing a tower in which time stood. I fixed the holes. In terms of not being here, you're in a space between moments. Time between time. Shouldn't be possible for you to have come here in the first place, and yet you are here again. I do not have the answers you seek. at least in terms of fixing what you broke. And I have much more to attend to. So if you have other questions, I suggest you ask them quickly before time catches up with us. Braxton,
Who are you?
you
Oh.
have 1 minute to ask questions,
Oh.
or 2 minutes to ask questions, and person in front of you will answer.
Who are you? Really?
You said my name.
What do you do here then?
I fix what's broken. I am what happens to those who hold the line.
Okay. Oh God. Oh Jesus. What do you mean that I'm not ready?
Is anyone ever?
Now
You
you're
don't
just
even
waxing.
think you're...
Now you're just
Oh.
waxing philosophicals at me.
How can you be ready if you don't even trust yourself? You look at the different versions of yourself as if disappointed.
All right, I didn't come here for a lecture on my life. I've already got enough going on as it is, and I don't need some tall Beowulf-esque person judging my aspects, okay? I came here as an accident by mistake, and yet here I am as this destiny just swore up to me. It's like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there. Is that what you want me to say? Because I don't. I genuinely don't. I just wanted to go to school and live a peaceful life and do something that wasn't gonna get me killed, and yet here I am. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do my damnedest to at least try to figure it the hell out. And you're not helping at all. Not ready this, trying to do that. Not ready this. Who is really ready that? Are you a hunter or a philosopher?
I am nothing. Not anymore. I fix what is broken, and it takes every part of me, always, forever, and never. You be facing something that knows what it wants, knows what he wants, has plans that you must be prepared for. So, put your mind to it. And Isaac turns, walks.
I try to follow him.
You try and follow, and you swear you are hauling ass. But like when you're in a dream and you're running, the ground just seems to not move fast enough as he walks farther and farther and farther away. Then you are still standing just a mere few feet from where you started. Left to ponder what was told to you. Donnie.
Sorry, I had myself muted because fireworks. That fluttering leads you down winding halls to an altar surrounded by candles, soft glow flickering. I can't believe it's still here. Can't believe they even kept it, didn't tear it down to the ground. I suppose it was probably a fixed point. Something that was always meant to happen. There's a sense of trepidation and fear.
What is this place?
This is where my existence ended. Where I became a fragment of a memory. A half-remembered vision.
Yeah, how did that happen exactly?
I was sent here with another. Not here, specifically, to a world. We were sent to observe, report. But we were separated. My love and I were separated. I was meant to serve another. Someone who sought to subjugate everything, everyone throughout everything and every when and everywhere and every moment. And he came to save me. Too late. My Isaac.
Sounds like a lot of responsibility for two people.
It was, but we were happy to do it. There were such wonders in this world. Magic, monsters. It was exciting. Where we came from, it was steel and progress.
Hmm.
And then I died.
So, how do you go from dead to in a ring on my finger?
Long, long story, but I suppose we have time. Sorry, you'll forgive. It was the sacrifice that made me what I am. Again, I told you, it was made to serve another. It's another purpose. He was a warlord, wished to control everything, and I was part of the solution to make his changes permanent. He co-opted the Wandering Eye. Iris and Lens tried to stop him. They realized the deception too late. The idea that history is written by the victors, he decided that he discovered time, he discovered that in the magic of this place, he discovered a way to manipulate it. To take everything and turn it to his will, winning key moments in time. And Isaac stopped him. In every moment, at every time, thwarted at every turn. But such a thing takes a toll on a mortal. Isaac is lost, doing the work that he set out to do. Thwarting Drexos at every point in time. And I am left as a memory. Time, space, memory, and love. I am the love that binds the world together. The solution was to stitch them. Make them one, connected at a point. And thus I exist in the memories of others.
Yeah, so about that bit, I know that at one point you were a fragment, but I don't know that you're giving yourself enough credit. You have helped me on countless occasions in small ways or grandiose. I've taken your advice and put it into action in the real world. And as someone who very recently experienced ego death, thanks in part to you, I think perhaps the person who was assigned those tasks is gone. Yes, and you are a fragment of that person, but perhaps you're a different person now. A collection of your own memories. And others.
Perhaps I am. And perhaps there are more memories from others. The world's merged. There are people born now that would not exist had they not. The bastion falling, the tower, was not your fault.
Thank
As much as Iris and Lens think that it is, you could say they're short-sighted. If you'll forgive the pun.
Yours are allowed. Theirs are on the no-fly zone.
Well, there's someone coming around the corner. I think you promised her a dinner date.
One last thing. Should I pass the ring to Isaac if I come across him in this place?
You feel joy. I don't know that you will. I think he's meant for another. I'm meant for you.
Take me out to dinner first.
I meant to help you, you fool. You hear the clicking of heels.
I
assume
will
Gidget's wearing
roll.
heels.
I mean, she was, but then remember she
Flats.
changed her shoes.
Flats.
True.
That's right.
Can't jump across the roof in heels.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
right.
will roll up the sleeves of the torn suit and just sling the jacket over my shoulder.
Gidget rounds a corner.
There she
Right.
is.
There you are. You know, when I stepped outside, you guys hadn't come for a bit, and then we were separated, so I thought they told me that if I thought hard enough about what I was looking for, that I would find it, and here you are.
Looking for me.
Right.
Every minute gives me joy. You didn't look too long, did you?
I kind of have time blindness, so I'm not sure, but maybe not long.
Well, if I've been keeping you waiting, perhaps we should envision a place to eat?
That's a really clever idea. And she's going to think real hard
Mhm.
about a nice place for lunch or dinner. She doesn't know because she doesn't know what time it is.
Time is relative. Whatever you want. It could even be brunch.
Or Linner. Whichever.
And I'll give this to you for free. Both walk and make your way to what looks like kind of like a replimant, like a commissary. It's got it's very almost Art Deco. There's these little plastic cases that have sandwiches, slices of pie, and any other kind of food you can imagine. You see that same man sort of walking, sitting down at a table.
I see a man walking.
The man from your vision. You see him grab a sandwich.
Oh,
and
the
sit
one
down at
with,
the table.
that my mom like put the.
Put the jacket around. The soldier that
Got it.
waded into the water.
Got it. I was hoping for something a bit nicer, but I also recognize him, so I think I'd like to talk to him.
Sure. I'll just pick what you want and I'll hold it while you have your conversation.
Right. She'll grab a couple of things without really looking or paying attention and then hand them to Donnie and I'll walk over and sit down at the same table as this man.
I was wondering when you'd stop by.
Am I familiar to you?
It's been a long time since I've seen you. You look a lot like her.
My mother.
Yes.
Right. How did you know my mother?
She saved me at a time when I did not know myself.
Figuratively or literally saved you?
Both? I don't really see the
Interesting.
distinction.
Well, figuratively is she might have like turned your life around or something like that, whereas literally would be you were like drowning or something and she pulled you out of the water.
Both? As I said, I don't see the
Right.
distinction. One and then the other, maybe.
And how do you know me then?
Sort of looks down. When you were small, you fell off your bike. You weren't quite used to walking on land yet, much less riding on two wheels. Man came and helped you up. You were learning. Stood you tall. Pushed you. Helped you get your bearings. When you were lost, your mom had stepped away, and you didn't quite know where she was. There was a woman who guided you back to her. When your coat got stolen by an unworthy friend, it showed up on your doorstep. I've been in a few moments in your life, Gidget.
So you've been watching me since I was a child?
It was the only way I could see you.
But if you knew my mother, why didn't you just come knock on the door, say hello?
She couldn't know me.
Now you're just confusing me.
had already been recruited by the Wandering Eye. I couldn't exist to your mother anymore, and I couldn't exist to you. I couldn't be what either of you needed me to be. My name's Reese, by the way.
Oh, how do you spell it?
R-H-Y-S.
Right. Do I remember any stories about this man? So my mother's never talked about him.
Mother's never talked about him.
Okay.
There's something about his features, though.
Familiar.
The eyes.
Like I've seen that face.
Like you've seen the eyes, the ears in your own reflection a little.
Right. All right. I thought that might be where you were going with this, Anita.
But on that note, Finley.
Yes.
What are you thinking about as you walk the halls? You step out of the room and none of your friends are there. What comes across your mind?
I think when she first walks out, she kind of like grabs the necklace and kind of rubs it and is like, all right, well, I should probably find my friends. We should stick together. It's weird that they left already. But like I think her mind keeps going back to Colette, trying to remember. But then it's like, no. We gotta team up. We gotta figure this out. And so I think it's really scattered between like that personal friend versus like what needs to be done right now.
You walk. Your feet you walk forward, the halls in front of you, stretching onwards, you make turns, left, right. Halls keep on going. And as you're walking, you pass a library. And in it you see Professor.
My time professor?
Mm-hmm. Richard Karya. Sitting at a desk, surrounded by books, furiously scribbling into a journal.
Sir? Professor?
Miss Enoch!
Yes.
What? Absolutely outstanding. You found yourself here. Isn't this place fantastic?
No, but I can see why you would think it is, which, I'm really happy for you.
Look at this book. Look at this book.
Okay, I'm looking.
This book doesn't exist. Not anymore. Not in our time. But they have a copy here in pristine condition.
Okay.
There's everything. Anything that you could possibly think of is here.
So you're cool with all this? You don't want to get home?
This is my life's work.
Yeah.
And I'm here. Besides yourself, Miss Enoch. Who else could say that they've seen this? Holds out the book, rips out the page that he is flipped to, lets it go. The page crumpled in his hand, freezes in air as it drops, pulls back up to where it was, starts to unfold itself, then lays itself back in the book.
Well, that is unique.
It
For sure.
is incredible. And
Yeah.
I'm sure a meticulous mind like yourself incredibly fascinated by the space.
I'm definitely fascinated because I was thinking, wow, I should have chosen a different elective. And then I started thinking about school. And then I realized I don't know if I'm going back to school. Also, if you stay in the time maze that we're in, do I pass your class still?
Classes don't really matter. Look, you're surrounded by all the things from all of time, and you're concerned about a grade.
Well, because that's the time that matters to me.
Yes, regardless of what you choose, you get an A. I will write you a note, I guess.
That's not really convincing, but okay. Oh, my sword glows. And she pulls it out. Did one of your books talk about this?
You pull out the sword and his eyes go wide. And he just, may I see the sword? Can I hold it?
Sure. You have to give it back.
I don't have the constitution to wield it like you do, Miss Enoch. I simply wish to observe. And he holds it sort of delicate. His arms sort of sag a little bit under the weight. He like props it. He just sort of lays it carefully on the books. It's intriguing. He like taps parts of it, hears it ring, and then taps a different part, listens to it ring.
I think she also, like, when he does that, like, she leans in like, I don't hear it, but okay.
It's intriguing. A sword. Would you? There's a. I can't say that I've seen this sword before. But the way it rings, there's a place in here. Would you let's and he just starts walking. He's like, you should follow me. Like bring the sword.
Yeah, I think she grabs the sword. I think she puts it back on her back. Because that's just it's easiest there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she doesn't feel like she's about to be in a combat situation. Because if her professor for some reason turns around and tries to hit her, she's feeling pretty confident she can take him. So
he is in fact an old man.
Not that she would find joy in beating up an old man, but should it happen?
Mm-hmm. So he walks, you follow, and he is walking with a very purpose. He's like, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but if you do the symbol, if you cut through, if you do this, and then perhaps, and he's just like talking, he's like, and you follow, right? Like, and you see, if you do, it's nonsense.
It's a solid no from me, but I think whatever you're doing is probably right. You're super smart. So
he is having the time of his life as he guides you to down these stairs and winding paths, leads you to a space. It's not like the places you've been elsewhere in the halls of the Wandering Eyes. This place is darker, colder. The vaulted ceilings now, instead of feeling open and airy, feel looming. And he walks over and he's like, look, see. Do you hear it?
do I?
It's like a... Make an intellect check for me.
Oh, okay. What's my difficulty?
Let's say it's a 9.
9. Got a 13.
15. You pass it. You listen and you hear. You ever hit a tuning fork against something? but it's not the intense ringing that you get at the beginning. It's like that low hum as it slows and stops oscillating. You hear it. It points at the ground where the ground is scorched, and in the ground there is a rune of some sort surrounding a little orb. It's a little ball in the center. See the resonance of this. Imagine, see, it's if you hit certain parts of your sword, it rings similarly, and the glow. It's like, and he presses his hand forward towards the circle, and right where the circle on the ground, if you stretched it up, he puts his hand out, and it stops. The air wavers. The same glow as your sword, just briefly, just softly.
Whoa. Should I touch it?
You corrected my symbols before. I feel that you are the person to do this, to touch it. I feel like it's meant to be.
Okay.
Hear the sword echoing. You hear amongst the sword. You hear,
take the sword of destiny. Use it.
Okay, I think she, with one hand, sort of, takes it off her back. And then, does it seem like the sword should go into it? Or does it seem more hand-sized?
the rune is pretty significantly large on the ground. The circular runes that are circling this thing. I said circle too many times, but and the orb is in the center. It's like being placed out of reach, almost like a barrier. It's being put up.
I think she'll kind of like go in, grab it with both hands and like take a deep breath, and then like, I hope this is right. Or I'll try touching it. And then she sort of goes in sword point first.
Your sword goes forward, and you feel a slight resistance as it reaches right where the professor's hand had stopped earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then the air bends around it almost as if twisting. Even though it's going straight forward, it twists and it twists until it snaps. The light that was shimmering from your sword, the light that was glowing from the air, stops.
Did I break something?
The orb in the center shatters.
Oh, shit. I don't think I was supposed to do that.
You see in front of you you hear it, that rumbling, that you see the figure that you had been seeing before, that bending of space appear in front of you, stronger than you have seen it before. And that bending starts to sharpen and form around a person, stronger than before. And that person, it's almost like they push their way forward and step forward, and space peels away to reveal in front of you a man. Horns, red skin, wearing armor that you've never seen before. Drexus says,
Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Now, I have to go finish what I've started.
He vanishes.
I think she like tries to reach out and like grab it, and it's like too, like
Yeah,
right as
just
it
like-
happens, it's
And he's gone.
oh, I got used. I mean, that was a literal devil, right?
Listen, just because you
Professor?
were said you were a chosen one doesn't mean that you were chosen by a good thing.
You know? Fair.
That was Anita talking, not the professor.
Yeah.
The professor is just.
The professor.
Oh, go ahead.
Although I would not put it past that professor.
No, yeah, the professor is slack-jawed, staring just like...
That was bad. Do you know who that was? It didn't feel right.
What have you done?
I don't.
Behind you, you see both of the leaders of the Wandering Eye.
I was helping someone. They needed my help.
What have you done?
I thought I was doing the right thing. The sword was glowing and it's, led me here, and it was called the Sword of Destiny. So I thought it was, good.
What were you chosen for?
I don't know. People say that. I don't know.
And on that is where we will end this session.
So, May, me and you majorly fucked things up in the stories club. Go us.
Yeah. Oh my
Hell
gosh.
yeah, that's one
I
tower
am-
destroyed and one evil revealed. Let's go.
You've got a
Hello.
You've got literal demons to fight. I've got metaphorical demons and to fight. We love it.
God.
Woo!
Love
Was
this
my
for
demon
you.
hot though? At least, like, was he good looking?
He was hot as hell.
Point.
Ah,
Hey.
Hey.
But on that note, everybody, we're going to head on out of here. But first, our lovely performers are going to tell us who they are, where they can be found, and what they're doing around the space. And we will start with Finley.
hi everyone. So I am and have been Finley and Enox. I am May, or maybe Mayhem on Twitter. This is kind of the only thing I'm doing right now besides being a public health researcher during the day. So if you want to hit me up on Twitter, by all means. I post public health stuff and nerd things, and that's about all I do. Should that change, I will be posting about it there, and I will pass this on over to D.
Hello, that's me. I'm the one that they call D. My lovely creatures of the dark, good evening and thank you for joining us. My name is D. I have been playing the wonderful Donnie Powers. I am a voice actor, streamer, musician, professional GM all across the internet. And if you want to follow me in the death throes of one of the world's largest social media platforms, follow me at It's the Riddler until I get an invite to a better place. And yeah, outside of that, this is one of the only things that I'm doing. I guess I should probably plug the other things that I am doing. Every other Wednesday over on Gut Punch RP, you can find me playing Veritas, a lovely bug man, a tri-green, Echo Knight, clockwork soul sorcerer in a lovely game called Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And outside of that, so once we get back from our summer hiatus, you can catch me also on Gut Punch RP, where I like Lady Liliana. Oh goodness, I forgot her last name. I play a character named Liliana on Darkness Rising. Yeah, you guys basically need so much for watching, and I will pass it over to Chase.
Oh, that's me. How kind. Hello, everybody. My name is Chase Beck. I do voice acting. I do writing. I do a majority of things. Pride Month may be over, but it's not over, and will never be. My visual, not mine. The visual that I helped work on, repurpose, that's still going on. It's hella gay. You could date a lot of people. You could date a lot of angels, a lot of demons, or a lot of people in between. So get that repurposed visual novel. As for me, I'm the Star Wars TTRPG that I was a part of, Revenge of the Crit, is coming back on July 5th. Woo! We are finishing up a one-shot Clone Wars Black Ops sort of scenario that was going on, and I'm very excited for that. You get to see me be a clone in that, and my good friend Tati is going to be co-DMing that. And I believe after that, we're going to going back to our regular just Wednesday night ones. So big hoorah on that. That is Revenge of the Crit on. I will tweet about that, obviously. But yeah, stay tuned for that. And I'm going to take it to Nikki.
Hey, I'm Nikki. I use she, her pronouns. I am producer at TEATRPG. What I have coming up. Okay, so our finale of Perdition Trials of the Seven is on Friday. That is an amazing cast of people who are fallen deities. We're clawing our way back to the top so that we can fight God? ? So we are fighting a giant monster on Friday. I'm really excited to whoop that thing's butt and maybe possibly get my godhood back. So tune in on Friday for that stream. It's an amazing group of people. I love it so much. Fully have cried. Will probably cry again. And I think that's just Darby and Anita left.
Mm-hmm. Darby, you want to go first?
Or sure. Hello, hi. My name is Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet. You can find me in the death throes of the bad place until I go to the place with the nice blue sky above me. You can find me anywhere as Chaotic Darby on the internet. I am a streamer, TTRPG performer, possum, writer, and all around menace on the web. When I'm not here co-running this game with the lovely Anita, you can find me as the community manager for TRPG with Nikki. I'm also on the Apochromatic Unlimited team, although not on their streams, but I'm on the back end doing stuff and things. What else am I doing? And on Sunday morning, starting in 2 weeks, you can find me on a Star Trek show on Thorny Dryad's channel. I'm playing Audred, who is a Trill. She's having a great joined old time, and yeah, we'll have our first episode in 2 weeks, so that'll be really fun. So keep your peepers peeled for that. Anyways, I'm gonna pass it to Anita.
Hi, I'm Anita, otherwise known as Panita or Critical Misses. I'm a TTRPG streamer, graphic designer, producer, and cat mom about the space. You can find me here on Mondays. You can find me behind the scenes here on Wednesdays and Fridays running tech support and probably in chat. And you can also find me on Saturdays for Morning Ritual, which is our TTRPG talk show. And on Sundays, you can find me over on Indoor Adventures channel for a Apocalypse Keys game where I play a biblically accurate angel of vengeance. It is a good time, and I recommend you stop by and watch that. Other than that, I think... Unless, Darby, do you have anything in mind for an after credits scene?
I think you see... I have a little stinger.
Alright.
We fade into the same space that Paxton last saw Isaac. You see Isaac walking, pulling on something in the air, pulling something else, peering through windows that only he can see, doing busy work until he stops. And he turns. Man with the horns, the red skin, the shining armor that none of you ever recognized, standing behind him. Isaac.
It's been too long. And yet, it's like I was here only a moment ago. We have some unfinished business.
That's rewind.
All right, we're going to go on a raid, everybody. We're going to go say hi to... Who are we going to say hi to, friends?
QJ?
Yeah, queue times is up. I think they might actually be wrapping pretty soon if I know Eric's sense of timing. So let's maybe go say hello to... let's go say hi to Madame Gandalf. Or do we want to say hi to Total Party Chill because they're playing some TTRPGs? Some tuturpagas?
We could say hi to Total Party Chill.
All right, let's go say hi to Total Party Chill. Thank you all so much for joining us, and until next week, we will see you time and time again. Bye, everybody!
Bye bye.